Winter's here, and those of us who live in the north know it's not messing around. We're talking bone-chilling cold, blizzards that'll bury your house, and power outages that'll make you wish you'd stocked up on more maple syrup. But don't worry, Prepper Items got you covered. In this video, we're gonna go through the essential gear you need to not just survive, but thrive during the winter. We're talking everything from the best sleeping bags to keep you toasty warm, to ways to keep your pipes from freezing when it's colder than a polar bear's nose out there. So, grab yourself a cup of coffee, get comfy by the fire, and let's get you prepared to face whatever old man winter throws your way. Alright, let's talk sleep. When the mercury drops and the wind's howling outside, a good night's sleep is about more than just feeling rested, it's about staying alive. That's why your winter sleeping bag is non-negotiable. Forget those flimsy summer bags, we're talking serious insulation here. Look for a bag with a temperature rating well below what you expect to encounter. Remember, it's better to be over-prepared than shivering yourself to sleep. Down insulation offers the best warmth-to-weight ratio, but synthetic options are great if you're on a budget or worried about moisture. Don't skimp on the size either. You want enough room to move around a bit, maybe even layer some clothes inside if it gets extra chilly. And trust me, a snug-fitting hood can make all the difference when the wind's trying to sneak in and steal your precious body heat. This ain't glamping, folks, this is winter survival. Now that we've got your sleeping situation sorted, let's talk about what you're wearing underneath those layers, eh? And no, I'm not talking about your birthday suit. I'm talking about thermal underwear, your first line of defense against the frigid bite of winter. Think of thermal underwear like a second skin, trapping a thin layer of warm air close to your body. This base layer wicks away moisture, keeping you dry and preventing those nasty chills that can turn a fun day in the snow into a miserable night by the fire. Merino wool and synthetic fabrics are your best bets here. Merino wool is naturally moisture-wicking, breathable, and odor-resistant, making it a favorite among us outdoor enthusiasts. Synthetics, on the other hand, are often more affordable and dry faster, making them a solid choice for those on a budget. No matter which material you choose, make sure your thermal underwear fits snugly without being too tight. Remember, layering is key, and we want to avoid any constricted blood flow, which can actually make you colder. Next, let's talk about those feet. You ever been out in the bush when the temperature drops and your toes feel like they're gonna turn to ice cubes? Not a good feeling, eh? That's why you need a good pair of wool socks. Wool socks are a must-have for winter survival. Why? Because unlike cotton, which absorbs moisture and makes your feet colder, wool wicks that moisture away. Keeps your feet dry even when it's damp out. Trust me, dry feet can be the difference between a comfortable outing and a miserable one. And don't be skimping on quality now. You want a nice thick pair of wool socks. Merino wool is the best, but any good quality wool will do. Remember, we're talking about your feet here. Don't want to be cheaping out on the things that keep you going. So stock up on those wool socks, my friends. Keep a few pairs in your bug-out bag, a few pairs in your car, and a few pairs in your cabin. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now, even with the best wool socks, sometimes your fingers and toes need a little extra help staying toasty. That's where hand warmers come in. These little packets of magic can make a world of difference when the mercury plunges. Just crack open a couple of these bad boys, shake them up, and tuck them into your gloves or boots. They heat up in minutes and provide hours of warmth. Perfect for those long days out in the cold, whether you're ice fishing, hunting, or just trying to survive a power outage. And the best part is they're small and lightweight. You can easily fit a bunch in your backpack, glove compartment, or even your pocket. Trust me, you'll be glad you have them when the going gets tough. Alright, let's talk about the workhorse of winter survival, the trusty snow shovel. You might think a shovel's just for clearing your driveway, but in a real survival situation it's much more than that. First off, you need a good shovel to dig out your vehicle if you get stuck in the snow. But it's not just about getting unstuck. A shovel can also help you build a snow shelter for protection from the elements. That's right, snow can actually act as an insulator, and a well-built snow cave can raise the temperature inside by a surprising amount. Now, not all shovels are created equal. You want a sturdy one with a long handle to give you leverage. Metal is best for breaking through ice and hard-packed snow. And don't forget to practice using it before you need it. Shoveling snow can be tough work, so you want to be prepared. Make sure you've got one in your arsenal before the snow starts flying. Next, duct tape. This stuff is tough, versatile, and always there for you. We're talking emergency repairs in a blizzard, patching up a ripped tent, or even fashioning a makeshift splint if you take a tumble on the ice. I've even seen folks use it to seal up drafts in their windows. Remember, in a real survival situation, you gotta be resourceful. Duct tape is your best buddy when it comes to quick fixes and unexpected challenges. We've talked about windows, but what about those sneaky drafts coming in under the door? That's where door draft stoppers come in, folks. They're like little guardians, standing watch at the bottom of your door, making sure that precious heat doesn't escape. These things are simple but effective. They block that cold air from sneaking in and keep the warm air where it belongs, inside, keeping you toasty. And the best part? They're cheap as chips. You can pick them up at any hardware store. Trust me, your toes will thank you for it. Next, a piece of gear that's small enough to fit in your pocket but can make a life-saving difference when the mercury drops. The Mylar blanket. Now, you might know these as those flimsy silver sheets they hand out after marathons, but don't let that fool you. These things are like holding a mirror to your own body heat. Seriously, they reflect up to 90% of your body heat back to you, creating a little pocket of warmth in an emergency. Imagine getting caught in a sudden blizzard, or your car breaking down in the middle of nowhere on a frigid night. This, my friends, is when a Mylar blanket earns its keep. They're inexpensive, lightweight, and packed down incredibly small, so there's no excuse not to have a few stashed in your car kit, bug-out bag, and even your everyday carry. We rely on electricity so much these days that we often forget how vulnerable it makes us. But what happens when the grid goes down, eh? No lights, no heat, no Netflix. Talk about a recipe for disaster. That's why worth their salt knows the value of good old-fashioned candles and tea lights. A few strategically placed candles can light up a room and take the edge off the chill in a pinch. Plus, let's not forget the psychological comfort of a flickering flame in a crisis. It's a primal thing, fire. It represents safety and security, and that can be just as important as the physical warmth it provides when things get tough. So, stock up on candles of different shapes and sizes, and don't forget the waterproof matches or a reliable lighter. Now let's talk about keeping your belly full and your spirits up when the power grid decides to take a hike. You can only eat so many cold beans out of a can, right? That's where a reliable gas burner becomes your best friend. I'm talking about a good quality camping stove here, something that runs on propane or butane. Why? Because when the electricity is out, your electric stove is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. A gas burner lets you boil water for drinking and cook up hot meals. Remember those Mylar blankets we talked about? Well, a single burner under a makeshift tent can create a surprisingly effective warming hut in an emergency. Just be sure to use it in a well-ventilated area and follow all safety precautions. Don't wait for disaster to strike before you figure out how to feed your family. Invest in a decent gas burner, stock up on fuel canisters, and practice using it safely. Your stomach and your sanity will thank you. Next, firewood. Having a good supply of firewood is essential for those long winter months. Remember those ice storms a few years back? Thousands of people without power, some for weeks. It can happen again, anytime, anywhere. Now, not all firewood is created equal. You want hardwoods like maple, oak, or birch. They burn hotter and longer. Softwoods like pine are okay for starting fires, but they burn out quickly. Stack your wood properly off the ground and keep it dry. A tarp or some plastic sheeting will do the trick. Remember folks, fire is a powerful tool. Treat it with respect and be safe. Always have a fire extinguisher handy and know how to use it. We're always looking for cheap and effective ways to prep, and this one might surprise you. We're talking about bubble wrap, the stuff you usually find protecting your online orders. It might seem strange, but trust me, it's a surprisingly effective insulator. You see those little air pockets in the bubble wrap trap heat, just like double-paned windows. Cut the bubble wrap to fit your windows and use a spray bottle to mist the window with water. Then just press the bubble wrap, bubble side down, onto the window. It'll stick right on. This trick isn't just for windows either. You can use it to insulate doors, walls, even drafty crawl spaces. It's a cheap and easy way to add an extra layer of insulation to your home and keep those heating bills down. And hey, if the power goes out, that bubble wrap insulation will help keep your home warmer for longer. Every little bit helps, right? So next time you get a package in the mail, don't throw away that bubble wrap. Save it. It might just come in handy when you least expect it. Alright, let's talk fireplaces. They're great for ambiance and warmth, but did you know you could be losing precious heat even when it's not in use? That's right, that open chimney is like leaving a window wide open in the dead of winter. That's where a fireplace plug comes in handy. It's a simple but effective way to seal up that chimney, and keep your hard-earned heat from escaping. Just inflate it, stick it up there, and you're good to go. It's like putting a big old cork in that heat-sucking hole. And don't worry about remembering to take it out before you light a fire. Most fireplace plugs are designed to melt or deflate safely when exposed to heat. Just remember to let your fireplace cool down completely before you put the plug back in. A fireplace plug is a simple and affordable way to improve the energy efficiency of your home and save some money on your heating bills. We're talking about those sneaky little gaps and cracks around your windows and doors, folks. You might not think much of them, but let me tell you, they can let in a whole heap of cold air, making your home drafty and uncomfortable. That's where caulk comes in. It's like magic goop that seals up those cracks and keeps the cold air out. And the best part is, it's cheap and easy to use. Just grab a tube of caulk and a caulk gun, and you'll be sealing up those drafts in no time. Walk around your house and check around your windows, doors, and any other places where you feel a draft. You might be surprised by how many cracks and gaps you find. Once you've sealed them up with caulk, you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. Remember folks, staying warm in winter is all about the little things. Sealing up those drafts might seem like a small thing, but it can make a big difference in your comfort and energy bills. Well folks, there you have it. From your toes to your chimney, we've covered a whole whack of tips and tricks to help you stay warm and cozy all winter long, no matter what Mother Nature throws your way. Remember, being prepared isn't about being paranoid. It's about being responsible and taking care of yourself and your loved ones. By having these essential items on hand, you'll be ready to face whatever winter throws your way. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more prepper tips and advice. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Stay warm out there,